Hello and welcome to today's
Hi.
live stream. So it's me and Karin today doing the live stream, and we're going to start now. It's starting to get springtime now, so we thought it'd be great to show our spring campaign.
Yes.
And before we do that, please visit Logosol.com for more information over our products. And you can also visit our Facebook page, Logosol Portable Sawmills, and our YouTube channel if you want to see previous live streams over our products. And that's also Logosol Portable Sawmills. So today we're going to go through the spring campaign, and we also gonna show some of the offers that we have, and we're also going to do some sawmilling.
Yes, a big spring demo.
Yes, exactly. And we could start maybe with showing the campaign that we have just launched.
Yes. If you go into logosol.com, you can see a PDF file with this campaign in English, and you will also find all products in the shop with discounts in the sales folder.
Yes, yes.
So it's a big campaign and it's filled with great offers, and we will go through it more in detail later on in this live stream.
Yes, and especially now when, at least that's how it is here in Sweden at the moment. Please let us know how it is in your market, but the prices of sawn materials have been increased, and there's even plans to increase it further. So this is the time to do sawmilling for sure. And we have a lot in stock.
Yes.
So we are ready for the spring.
We are really well prepared.
Yes.
And don't wait too long, because if you have plans for the spring or your summer project, don't hesitate to contact us now, so we have the chance to plan for your shipment and delivery.
Yes. And we have some new products today as well that we're going to show, and maybe we could start to show the first new product here, which is a wood chip fan that can be mounted on the side spindle of the CH3, our three-sided planer molder. So we have this patented plate that comes with the machine, and to increase airflow to clean the top of the material from wood chips, you can also mount these, and they work similarly to a fan. So they shoot the air and clean, and that is to prevent pressure marks from the feed rollers. If you get wood chips between the feed rollers and the material, you'll get pressure marks. So this is to get as much sawdust off from the boards. So this is a great accessory, and can be used in our CH3. And I'll go over a little bit. The CH3 is a three-sided planer molder, where you can attach molding knives in the side cutter blocks and also in the top block. So when you use molding knives in the top block, you'll have the planer knives in every second track and the molding knives in these empty tracks. And in this machine you can produce a variety of different moldings, from panels to skirting boards, crownings, lots of different moldings. We have a little variety here. So here we have, for example, to do the sides when you produce crownings. And this is the top molding knife to use together with them. Here we have T&G for flooring with a micro chamfer. So you get a small V-track when you put the boards together. And here we have a timber profile for 2-inch thickness. But we have several hundred of these standard molding knives available. And if you go in if you go into Logosol.com under downloads, you can find the molding knife catalog and you can see all the standard profiles. And if you can't find anything suitable there, you can always send us a drawing, and we can also produce custom-made molding knife if needed. So don't limit yourself. You can produce most types of moldings in this machine. And this is a 3-phase machine that runs on 3-phase 400 volt 16 amps. Behind us we have a suitable chip extractor. This is a 2.2 chip extractor, 2.2 kilowatt. Also a 3-phase 400 volt machine. You have 3 different outlets on the machine, each are 100 millimeters. And you have 3 connections to this chip extractor as well. And in the campaign now we also have a starter package with a variety of molding knife in a set that also include gibs to attach some of the molding knives in the top block, and that has an offer at the moment, as well as the chip extractor. So please check it out. It might be something that could be really useful. So that was a little bit about the CH3, the molding knife, the tooling that allows you to produce the moldings, and the extractor. And should we move over to the chainsaw mills a little bit?
Absolutely. I would like to add that don't hesitate to ask questions in the chat. If you have any comments or questions, please write them in the chats, and it works fine on both YouTube and Facebook.
Absolutely.
We are well prepared with a lot of machines today, so today is the day to
Today is the day. And you can also, if you want to go in and find more information about a specific machine, you can see on the previous live demos on our YouTube channel, where you can have one live demo focused on only a single machine. So check that out as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's head over to
the next product news. And previously we've had the wide slabber available, and it would then be run by a steel MS881. And here is our new electric version, an 8 kilowatt 3-phase 400 volts 50 hertz model. Works very similar. You have an oil pump, a separate oil pump at the top here, and an oil pump here where the bar attaches. So you have 2 oil pumps. You also have a water container on this end to increase the cooling. We run the hyperskip chains, so you can see it's about 8 inches between the pairs, between the teeth here. So you can see it's quite a long distance. Yeah. And this machine runs, you basically hold this down, start the machine, and then you start cranking. And I'm going to show you that shortly. I just wanted to show here before we start up, this is a guide rail prop that helps especially when you extend the rails, so you add more guide rails and extend the cutting length, it's good to have these supports, because otherwise the rail might sag down a little bit, especially when you're using a electric chainsaw which weighs quite a lot. So this is a great accessory to use, and this one has a little bit longer spike than the normal guide rail prop. So if you have a log that's very uneven in some places, the bar will be long enough. So I'll just connect this. That's a short little preview on how the electric one, it works very similar to the petrol one, but it's not the same kind of noise, and there are no fumes either.
And very easy to handle. Just push the button and crank the saw.
So that's the new electric wide slabber.
And it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, it's an 8 kilowatt, so
Yeah.
it's plenty of, and it makes quite a lot of difference to use these hyperskip chains as well. They clear the sawdust really well. Yeah, so this has been something that's I know a lot of people have been waiting for. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the new electric wide slabber. And now I thought we'd move over to the next chainsaw mill. And here we have...
Kan vi ta vanlig kamera en stund? Här.
Here we have the ES8. We have two models of the electric chainsaws for the F2 and F2 Plus chainsaw mills, and this is the larger one. This is also an 8 kilowatt. We have also a smaller one that's 4.6 kilowatt, and the F2 Plus here that we have here can handle logs up to about 28 inches or 700 millimeters in diameter, so it handles quite large logs as well. We have a manual remote feed here, so you crank the saw forward from one position.
And if you don't have 400 volts and 50 hertz, you can have a standard chainsaw mill, eller chainsaw.
Yeah, so you have it mounted on this saw carriage instead. So here we have the steel MS661 mounted, and it's a good sized saw for this type of work. And these actually uses the same bars. And we also have adapters available, so if you have a larger Husky chainsaw, that will work as well. And we also, we won't show it now, but we also had the F2 chainsaw mill, a slightly smaller bench, which handle logs up to about 500 millimeters in diameter, 20 inches.
And as you mentioned before, we have a lot of live streams on our YouTube channel or on Facebook if you look in there, where we concentrate on one model or comparison between F2 and F2 Plus.
Yeah.
So if you like to know more about them, you can look in there.
Absolutely. We've done quite a few on the chainsaw mills, but we have had kind of different configurations in them, so they can be worth watching a few different ones.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna raise the log lifters here. And prepare now for a cut. There we are.
Can you explain the feeling when you cut your own board?
Well, it's always a really nice feeling, and it's especially when you talk to customers. A lot of customers that start with sawmilling get really interested in it, and especially, I mean, especially now as well, not just as a hobby, but when with the current prices, I know in a lot of countries the prices on sawn timber is going up and up. So it's also really useful to be able to cut for your own use and your own projects instead of buying it in the Home Depots and such. So it's fun and useful, yeah. And you can actually, you always get, that's worth mentioning, you always get a saw carriage for a petrol chainsaw with the saw bench. So even if you get an electric chainsaw, you will always have a saw carriage for the petrol chainsaw in case you want to mount one to the bench. So that's important to know. Yeah.
Good. So let's go back to the studio and show the great offers that we have for the customers that buy a chainsaw mill.
Yes.
During the campaign. In this campaign, the Logosol spring campaign that starts this week, we have 4 different accessories that you can choose and get for free together with your chainsaw mill, an F2 or F2 Plus. So the first accessory you can choose is a premium cutting package.
Yes.
It contains a Canon bar, chainsaw bar.
Yeah.
50 centimeters, together with 5 chains.
And that's a really good kit to have, because a lot of customers, what they usually do is when they start working in a day, they just switch chains, continue, and then you sharpen all of them at the end of the day. So this is a really good kit to have.
Very popular.
Yeah.
And a really high quality bar.
Yeah, super. Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah. And we have this nice tool.
The Cantook, you can see here. So this is a fairly large Cantook. So on the big stuff, especially when it starts to get heavy, it's good to get some extra leverage so you can turn the logs. Because this is something you'll do plenty of times when you're sawmilling. So that's offer number 2.
Yeah. Really nice tool, useful, together with your chainsaw mill. And the 2 next shoes is 2 different extensions.
Yes.
The first one is 2 of these half-meters extensions that you can use, one in the start of the chainsaw mill and one in the end. So you extend it half-meter on
Each side.
each side. And the 4th shoes is 1-meter extension.
Exactly. It's a little bit just how you want to configure the mill.
So to summarize the offer for chainsaw mill, F2s and F2 Plus, with every mill, you as a customer can choose your own accessory for free. So this is a great offer, so don't hesitate if you will buy a mill this spring.
Yes.
We have a question here about the F2 Plus. I have a F2 Plus, which is fantastic, but the log lifters don't click. Is there sawdust build-up? Many thanks, Patrick.
Well, it could be either, or it could be something, if something's happened to the springs, it doesn't spring back properly. So the ratchet doesn't go in to the, and how do you say, lock properly. So I would check on the spring that sits in the ratchet to see if it's springing back. Otherwise, it could be a sawdust buildup, but I'd certainly look at the spring in that case.
So look into that, and don't hesitate to contact us if you need any further support. You can always write an email to us, info@logosol.com, and we are happy to help you out. Okay, so next offer we have in the campaign, the big offer,
Yes.
is for the Bandsaw mills. So if you, during this spring campaign, orders or buy Logosol Bandsaw mill B751, B751 Pro, B1001 or hydraulic package, you will get a grind locks for free. And what's that?
That is a blade grinder. So this is what keeps your sharpening or your bandsaw blades sharp. So it's a very useful tool to have. And sooner or later the saw blades will get dull. So then this is a perfect machine to have. And this one runs on 12 volts, so you connect it to a car battery. So that means you can bring it with you if you want. You don't need a fixed electrical connection.
So this is a great thing. Sooner or later, everyone needs it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
here?
We have a question here. Are there plans to release an electric powerhead for F2 Plus in the US? We have that in our plans, yes, but we don't have a time frame that we can inform about right now, but absolutely in our plans. So we look forward to have a live stream soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so next on the schedule, that's
the Bandsaw mills.
Bandsaw mills. We have a new product
there
on
as
the
well.
Bandsaw mills as well.
Yes, so let's move over to the B1001 that we have over here. So on this sawmill here we have the hydraulics mounted underneath here, so this runs with an electric motor, and we just put the version that's petrol driven up here just to show you how it looks like.
So the news is that we have also a petrol version now.
A petrol version, exactly. Yeah. I know a lot of customers have been waiting for this, and we're really happy to get this now. So because we have a lot of customers using petrol motors and moving the sawmills, and that's a better solution for that.
Yeah. And the hydraulic package, can you add that to your sawmill that you already have?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can retrofit this to your existing B1001. And we can show just a few. I can actually start it just to show a little bit how it works. So on the front here we have a. Can loosen this a little bit. On the front here we have a tow board in the front roller here, and we also have in the bottom end we have another tow board depending on which way the log is, which way the log lies on the rail. This is the hydraulic log clamp that can be adjusted in height, and then you can grip it like this. This is the loader. And here we have the rotator. Which can be lowered, and then you have a chain running on it. And also on the other side here we have the adjustable log rests, which are connected to each other, so they are always in the same level regardless on how you adjust them. They're always on the same level. So this is a very sturdy piece of kit that'll handle pretty much all the logs you can mount on a B1001.
And how big is that?
That is up to 1 meter in diameter, so that's fairly large logs. So we can show actually the log clamp in the front just to show you a little bit how it looks like. You can see this is a solid piece with, you can see rubber sealings here for the shafts moving in and out. So everything here is very heavy duty. You can see the thickness of the log lifter here. So it's really made to handle the logs you need assistance with. And then we can also say that if you buy a complete system with the saw and everything, a hydraulic system with the B1001, you'll always have one extension with the mill. So it'll be the standard rail will allow you to cut about 4.8 meters. You'll be able to cut about 5.8 meters with the hydraulic kit. Yeah, that's a bit of the different functions on the hydraulics, and let's move over to the B751 now. And I know that's your favorite model.
Yes,
Karin.
that's my favorite machine.
Yes.
One of my favorites. Perhaps.
Yes.
I will just have a look in the chat if you have any
Okay, yeah.
more questions. No, not at the moment.
Wait.
I really like the B751. I'm super impressed of the machine. I mean, it take really large logs,
Yes.
up to 750 millimeters in diameter, and a cant of 600
Yes.
millimeters. So that's big logs, and the saw head on B751 are exactly the same high quality as the rest of the models, B751 Pro and also the B1001 that we looked into before.
And we can open up just to show a little bit on the...
And it's so many smart details on this machine, and same as we said for the other machines, look into our previous live streams. We have gone through it in detail.
Yes.
if you want to know more about them, but we can have a short look.
Yeah, we can show just a little bit on the band wheels here. They're a lot wider than normal, and that makes them work a little bit more like a fan, so they help clean the saw cover when you're milling. So you can see here, even though we've used this sawmill quite a bit, you can't find a lot of build-up inside the cover here.
Normally you need to clean
Yes.
under the cover if you need to change blade or something.
Yeah.
Or make any adjustment, you need to start clean it first.
Yes.
And cleaning, you know, that's not fun at all.
I agree.
And perhaps you could mention something about the blade.
Yeah, so
guides.
the blade guide rollers here, they are adjustable. You can adjust them at all angles, and that's really important, so you can make sure that the blade is really in line with the rail, so it wants to cut straight. And you have these set screws here. You can show there these set screws, and it's one on the lower side here as well. So these are used when you're setting the blade guide rollers. Really good feature on the mill.
And this is something you normally only see on very expensive sawmills.
Yeah. A lot of times on models that are a little bit lower in price, they usually are fixed. So this is a really good feature, and this is the blade guide, the adjustable side here, so you can, depending on how wide you need to cut, you can adjust this and just secure it.
And what's good with that?
Well, you want to have the rollers ideally as close to each other as possible, because it improves the precision. And we can also show the
yeah,
clamp.
Absolutely.
So these clamps, this is a double excenter. So when you use this, you slide it down, and then you turn the orange plate against the log, and then you move the handle against it. And then it's super secure, and it doesn't leave a lot of deep marks. So especially when you you have a cant, for example, and you don't want to damage the surface, this is a very good clamp. And it's the same here. We can show on this side here, down here. This is also an excenter. So when you set the angle of the log rests, you adjust that with the excenter here. And that's really important when you want to cut square beams or things like that, because if you're a little bit off, you'll double the fault when you turn the log and make the next cut.
And when you cut, you want to have straight angles.
Yes,
That's you will never get satisfied if you don't get straight lumber.
Yeah. And if you have a customer, for example, they also want to have a good result, of course. And here we also can show a little, this is a toe board. So this is, now we have the flat side down so we don't have to use it, but when the log is round, you have to lift up the top end of the log to compensate for the bottom end. So you make a straight cut through the log. There. And then we close the lid.
And that's a very smart little orange hook.
The hook.
Yeah.
So you don't have to hold the cover or remove the cover.
So that's also very easy to do. Just open it up and
Let it rest.
And use the hook.
Yeah.
And you can get the B751 with 2 different petrol engines.
Yes.
13 or 15 horsepowers and with one electric version as well.
Yeah.
4.6.
Yeah, 4.6 kilowatt.
Yeah.
And we can show this can show the water tank. So here we have the water tank, and it's an aluminium tank that's part of the frame, really. So this is very durable. And then you have lifting chains on each side here and sprockets that you raise and lower the saw head with. And if we move on to this side here, we have the height adjustment. And the height adjustment has fixed steps. So you have every step here is 1/8 of an inch. So you pull this out, lower it. And if you lower 1 turn plus 1 step for the curve, you'll get a 1-inch board. And if you do 2 turns and a step, you get a 2-inch board. So that makes it very easy to get the same thickness on every board. 'Cause sometimes
Easy and fast.
Easy and fast. Yeah, because if you look on a scale, it can depend on a little bit how tall you are, and you can get small deviations. But when you have fixed steps, it's always the same, as long as you choose enough steps. And here we have a scale here with finished measurements. So these include the curve of the blade, and this is a normal millimeter scale. And here is the last cut indicator. So once you've made a cut, if you raise the saw head and go back, you can see where your previous cut was. So that's a bit about the B751, and I know you are...
Yeah, I just want to zoom in the
scale.
No, the small flag. I'm really proud of that. The Logosol Bandsmills are developed from our Logosol engineers in the R&D department, and they are produced here in Härnösand at Logosol. So they are Swedish products with high quality, a premium
Yeah,
Bandsaw mill.
definitely.
And if you buy products from us, you always get 2 years warranty
Yeah.
on them.
So
Okay, should we fire it up and
we'll
cut
fire it
some?
up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
finally.
Finally. Here, I know.
Is it cold to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, I was a little bit too fast.
Or are we out of fuel?
One more cut.
Great work. Whew. So that was a bit about the 751.
Yeah,
It cuts fast.
fast
Yeah.
and very easy.
Yeah.
And you don't need to think so much with this system adjusting the saw head. And nice surface.
Can
Let's
see
see if we can show it here.
See a little bit on the. Really nice finish.
Immediately I start to think of projects.
Yeah.
So much fun. Okay, let's head over to the computer and see if we have any questions.
Yeah.
I hope so. Or comments.
All comments are welcome.
Or Pelle, do you think we have any orders?
I'm sure. I hope we have some questions.
No, nothing. Yeah. Hi, any updates on pack cutters? Paketkappen. I don't know what updates you are looking for, Egils, but send us an email with your question and we can try to help you out. info@logosol.com.
Yes.
I think that's easiest.
I don't know off my hand what the lead time is on the stack cutters at the moment, but
Me neither.
we have them available, so it's more we have to check what lead time they have.
Yes. Okay, do you have anything to add, Pelle?
No, well, if you have any questions where you can't find the answer on our website or any of our live stream, please send us the question on logosol.com or give us a call.
Or contact your closest dealer. We have a great network of really high-skilled dealers globally.
Absolutely.
So if you go into logosol.com, you can find contact details to the dealer on your market. And if we don't have any dealer in your country, you can feel free to contact us here in Sweden. And also, we are really looking forward to exhibition season. And we know that our dealers will head out for exhibitions in a lot of countries.
Yes.
And we try to post all dates and information about that also on the websites.
Yeah. So you can, if you visit logosol.com, you can go in under, I think it's under trade shows.
Yep.
You'll find details of the trade shows there.
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
that's all for today's Milling Monday.
Yes.
Head over to the web shop and look into our great spring campaign. It's filled with a lot of really great offers, and make sure to secure your delivery.
For sure.
Yeah,
Be ready for the spring.
absolutely. Thank you for today, and stay tuned for more live streams from Logosol.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye bye.